Repeat after me. I am a winner. I am a success.
I Am Academy essentially sells you a dream.
Invest into yourself, into your mind. Empower yourself, grow.
Someone who's never gonna be a slave to the corporate ladder, who's never gonna have to work 9 to 5 their whole lives.
They say your network is your net worth. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Scream from the rooftops.
I didn't know how big it was or how big it was gonna get.
I am the greatest trader of all time.
It's all about look at my clothes, look at my lifestyle.
Talk about this house.
Look at my travel.
Frequency private jet.
I didn't really understand what I was getting myself into.
The police in Spain has arrested 8 people related to the I Am Academy, accused of fraud, misleading advertising, and running a pyramidal scheme.
This right here will help you create fortunes if you allow it.
If you tell me you have a vision of being $1 billion business, you want to be a business that's going to change people's lives, then you're going to have to do what it takes. And if you're not going to do that, everybody's going to suffer.
I've always been quite entrepreneurial. We didn't have a crazy amount of money growing up. I remember we used to literally pick up secondhand TVs with the big backs on them and just scrimp and save to try and buy our first Xbox and things like that. I had my first child at the age of 16. I ended up deciding not to go to college because I wanted to work and provide for my family. I was like, wow, I need to make more money. I started trading and I was just losing money and I was losing. I actually ended up losing all of my savings. I've always had that feeling that I'm going to be successful and I wanted to just keep pushing. Sometimes you have to risk to be able to get there. It was at that point where someone reached out to me from I Am Academy.
If the markets are choppy, that means you're not looking at the higher time frame.
So I took that as an opportunity and jumped straight right in.
Wanting to be an entrepreneur just came from me being young and not really having anything. I didn't come from money. My dad was kind of the one that, put me in school and made sure I kept my head on straight and, played sports. So growing up, I wanted to go to NFL, right? That was my long-term dream. I wanted to have nice things, wanted to have a big house, wanted to have a nice car. I ended up giving up football due to injury. Once I stopped playing football, my passion for going to school kind of went with it. I don't want to be the person who keeps having to depend on my parents to help me out because I was a full-time student athlete. Like I said, I wanted to have a lot of money, but I didn't know how I was going to do that without playing football. My best friend at the time kind of brought me into I Am Academy. I definitely seen it as an opportunity where I could make a lot of money. I can always go back to school. I can't go back and make money.
I came across I Am Academy, I think it was in 2021. This was part of a trend of companies that sprung up or did really well during the pandemic, selling trading lessons to retail customers. Early on, IM Academy was more focused on specific trading lessons around foreign exchange markets. Forex means foreign exchange, and it refers to the foreign exchange rates, so the changes in currencies between two countries. I could see that IM Academy had all these sort of social media influencers that were posting pictures of themselves at gorgeous villas around the world, driving really expensive cars, wearing the best suits. For $250, you can join the company, and then for another $250, you can pay for that first month's subscription to the online trading lessons.
Welcome to IM Mastery Academy. IM Academy is an online digital education platform united by the pursuit of potential and growth.
If you join IM Academy, you'll learn to trade online, you'll make money trading online, and you'll become rich.
So in terms of price, you're buying a Lamborghini for the price of a Chevrolet. But I always tell people, learn, take the time, don't rush to being wealthy.
The founder of IM Academy is a man called Chris Terry. He has this whole presence on social media that makes him look like an incredibly successful businessman. He also shows himself as kind of a philanthropist who wants to spread the wealth and teach others the stuff he's learned.
You have to change your energy from who you are to a billionaire mindset.
I started with Chris Terry because Chris had called and said, look, I need someone to help me be able to get my story out there correctly. What I ended up doing was going to Vegas to interview Chris and to set with him for almost a full day, watching how he traded.
Hey folks, Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, except I happen to be in Vegas with Mr. Christopher Terry.
So we went up to his suite. I could see all of Vegas.
Beautiful, we're having a blast.
It was a meticulous place.
I've been trading here for 20 years. I grew up in the Bronx, New York, working class family, construction family. I guess everybody in New York, every guy's family worked in construction at some point.
All the movies are like that.
Irish and Italian, you know.
And he decided since the rich people made money trading money that he was going to learn how to trade money.
From there, in the mid-90s, I found trading. I was looking at construction. I was looking at the trading arena. I was like, okay, how can I mix and match something? And when I realized I can start another business in the trading arena to educate people, why not create a network marketing model and marry the two industries together?
I felt that he was genuine. I felt that what he was telling me and how he was showing me was dead on.
Watch this. Let's click here. You see the pattern?
Yep.
Click here. See the pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Click here. See the pattern?
That's it.
You see the pattern again? You getting the point?
I do, very much so.
Okay.
Chris's ambition was to be able to have 1 million people that were on the platform using it. He wanted to be $1 billion business. He wanted to be able to really be at the top of his game, and that was his goal.
Think about it. I'm teaching you. I've made tens of millions in trading. I'm teaching you to be successful in trading. You're your own independent business owner, free from everybody. Try doing that in another company.
You log on, you learn. You apply, you make money. If you don't learn and you don't apply, you don't make money.
Since going ahead and being in this journey for the past 5 years, it hasn't just been about what it is that I can do, right? It's been what it is that I can teach.
If I'm being honest, I will say the biggest thing that IM Academy had that appealed to me was the people.
For a lot of us, this is going to be our only opportunity of becoming a millionaire. Literally.
A lot of people look like me. They were African American, they were entrepreneurs. So, coming from the space where I come from, you don't really see that too much unless you're a ball player, a rapper, right? All the stereotypical stuff.
We're talking about generational curses being broken, right? We're talking about all the bondage, the financial bondage that our families have been in for years, thinking that they can't be rich unless they get a job. And that don't work either.
My mum always used to tell me, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So the majority of people that were doing these things were literally posting thousands and thousands in profits. They were posting their new cars, they were posting new watches, and everyone's making money.
The craziest thing about all this is it's all Forex funded.
They were making videos of them in their little groups, and everyone was making profit. IAM would host events all around the world.
Nobody in this planet can take from you is the ability to think. You have the $1 trillion brains.
Vegas, Fort Lauderdale, Texas.
The atmosphere at the events are super positive, super upbeat.
I went to an event in Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and there were maybe 15,000 people there.
What's up, Rotterdam? We're lighting this thing on fire!
Being at the events is absolutely insane, to be honest. It's almost like going to your favorite musician's concert.
Like an almost religious experience.
How many of you know in your heart you're a champion?
I was always the brokest guy there.
Make the vision for the reality.
I remember the first event I actually went to, I borrowed the money for my ticket to Vegas. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I had no money for food. They were doing $1 breakfast rolls at McDonald's, and I bought loads of $1 breakfast rolls with the rest of my money, and I literally would go to the event with breakfast rolls in my pocket and just eat that for the day. And if I had to stand outside of the venue and just feed off the energy of people walking in and out, I was just gonna do that. He makes you feel like you want to be a part of his vision. And you also believe it.
He called himself Daddy, and he called everyone in the stadium his kids.
Daddy's on stage.
So he was almost like chastising them.
You're my children, okay?
When he came to one of the events in the UK, he asked everyone in the audience, he said, put your hand up if you spent your last penny getting here. This lady put her hand up, and he brought her up on stage and literally just gave her $10,000. And it was crazy to see, because he is someone that genuinely cares.
You have to show more love than ever to your team, more support than ever.
Most of the people that I knew were on benefits, they were living in council houses. We weren't surrounded by money like that. So hearing all these stories of people making millions and being able to do whatever they want, that was just absolutely insane to me.
The top leaders at IAM Academy, besides the CEO, are these very appealing characters.
Make sure you network in this room.
Who are really good at portraying themselves as self-made entrepreneurs.
Time to go and fire up. I'm ready. Value-driven market.
Who aren't slaves to the 9-to-5 corporate job.
These people and these leaders, they were kind of like celebrities within the business.
They had 4 or 5 top promoters at the time that would emulate really what Chris did.
We honor you, we respect you, we love you.
They have built this giant, passionate following of people that will follow them. And they brought all of those people in.
See so many of you guys live, locked in, loaded.
Chris's motivation is, I can collapse the time frame of building $1 billion business if I can bring tens of thousands at a time into my business. And that was the motivation for bringing those leaders in, and rightfully so.
Use it, sell it, and share it. It's not that hard, right?
It wasn't possible for the company to grow as big as it did without the use of young people using social media to blast it everywhere.
Another thing that you're taught, and this is a saying that I absolutely hate, but it's fake it till you make it.
We didn't necessarily call it fake it till you make it. The phrase that we would use was act as if you are already. And what we meant by that was if you are not already a chairman, carry yourself like you are and you one day will be one. Whether it be the way that you dress, the way that you talk, the way you carry yourself, mannerisms.
Not about the money. That's boring.
They say don't tell people exactly what you're making, just kind of fake the lifestyle, pretend that you're doing well because it piques people's interest. So a lot of people would literally go out and rent cars and rent whatever they can to try and have this crazy lifestyle to be able to promote to other people. But the reality is, off the screens, they're just living average lifestyles.
I was concerned because of the stuff I'd seen already. It almost sounded like, hey, if you just get into our business, you're gonna get rich, is what it is. Marketers are marketers. They wanna be able to say whatever they want, whether it's the truth or not.
IM Academy is teaching you to trade everything. So you can trade shares, you can trade cryptocurrencies, and then often you'll receive what's called signals, which are informations of whether a price is going to go up or down. So these are kind of predictions from other traders.
So here, you get the signal. See that? You get a chart on your screen. You can like it or decline it. If you decline it, it disappears. If you like it, you swipe it and gives you two charts. For instance, you could look at this chart, you could look at that chart.
It was a time I remember specifically. We just ran out of Airbnb. We got a bunch of people on the team to kind of trade together and, spend the weekend together. We were trading Bitcoin. And we were all up anywhere from $200 up to $2,000. The trade was going in profit. Everybody was making money. Whoever gave us that signal was telling us to stay in and not to get out too soon. There was a gut feeling that I had to want to pull out and just keep the money that I had. But I was like, man, if I pull out and this thing keeps going up and all my peers, go off to make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 tonight, and I'm sitting over here, stuck in my $600, I'm gonna be upset. So I just stayed in. Sure enough, it started to pull back and it started to go down and we all started to lose money slowly. Those who were up $2,000, now you're down 1,000. Now you're down 5. Now you're down to your last 100. And now you're negative, so then now the whole account is blown.
Trading in Forex or cryptocurrency, that's one of the riskiest things you can do. Those markets are incredibly volatile. When you're trading and you're given some advice, it's really hard to follow because the information changes so quickly. Around the world, there are banks and hedge funds that hire incredibly experienced software engineers to run incredibly developed algorithms to predict how a price will evolve. And when you compare those strategies, you can see there's a huge gap there.
Number one, we don't take investments. Number two, we don't get commissions from trading. So with all these things put together, that keeps us legal and compliant. We don't need a license. We're exempt for the fact is you control your own accounts where you put it, and you could shut it off.
Just an educational.
Exactly.
To provide trading advice or investment advice, you need to be regulated in a country as a broker or as a financial advisor. Chris Terry has never registered as a broker.
Important. That's important. Starbucks mantra. That's important. Okay.
He has a criminal record for being involved in organized crime in the 80s and 90s. A lot of them at IM Academy don't have any formal educational background, either in trading or in finance. And some of them have a background of taking part in alleged pyramid schemes.
Realistically, nobody that we knew was going to become a multimillionaire from trading alone.
I didn't tell you you're making 7 figures from trading. You're gonna make 7 figures from this side. I'm not afraid to say it. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't personally know a $1 million trader.
Yes, you have to pay $250 up front, but if you can find 2 friends that are willing to do it as well, then your fee is now waived. So that was kind of what I was told straight away, like, let's try and get your 2 friends on the next call.
Enroll, a couple family members and a friend who are already gonna ask you about it because you're doing it.
When your eyes open up tomorrow, do not shut them and go to bed until you either prospect 5 new people or 10 new people. What does that mean? Getting their names, getting their numbers, getting their Instagram handles. Ask questions, let them know you're busy, okay? And then you hit them with a punch. What's the punch? Hey man, if I could show you a way to make enough money part-time, would you take a look at something?
IM Academy pays people commissions based on how many recruits they've brought into the company.
You're learning about history, you're learning about math, you're actually learning a skill where you can multiply your money.
You can make a whole lot more money if you recruit a whole lot more people. This is the multi-level marketing structure of the business.
What we call multi-level marketing, or MLM. It's basically just a sales channel where anyone can get in the business. If you make sales or your team makes sales, then everybody wins. I started in this business when I was 5 years old. My mom was a Tupperware rep and went to the top in that business in the 60s. If somebody's gonna really succeed at it, is they've gotta have an honesty. They've gotta be willing to let people know this is hard work.
99% of the people in IM Academy are making their money through recruiting over trading.
Like if I enroll a new person, I'd rather them go talk to 50 people in the next 72 hours than a person a day for 55 days, right? Because success loves speed.
We just teach you to trade. It's about recruiting. That's it. It's about recruiting.
I think trading is something that takes a long time. It's something that is very difficult. When people start seeing a paycheck every single month by inviting other people, there is no reason for them to continue trading anymore.
For every new person that you bring in, there's the incentive that you might reach a certain rank within the company.
So if I say Platinum 150, that's $150 a month. If I say Platinum 5,000, that's $5,000 a month. And then it goes all the way up to Chairman 750, which is $750,000 a month.
So it's really hard for a single person to recruit 70,000 people on their own. But what you can do is you can train the people that you've brought in to recruit people themselves, and then they can train people to recruit other people.
Make some noise if you're in the Telegram chat. Make some noise if you're in the iMessage chat. Right?
Some of the people would also talk about just DMing as many people as possible.
The way we were talking on social media was just very upbeat, very, very hype. Man, a lot of that stuff got really corny.
Hey, how are you? Just wanted to ask what you do for a living as I've got this opportunity.
Do you want to be a 9-to-5er your whole life? Do you want to build your own business?
Some people would say, oh, I'm struggling at the moment, or I'm looking for work, or I need an opportunity. And I'm like, oh, great, well, should we jump on a call?
I am absolutely so excited, and I can tell you guys now, I quit my job within 2 weeks because I genuinely believe that this was a company that could set me free, and now I spend all of my time with my children, trading Forex, and helping my team grow as well. Let's go!
I can see how other people from the outside looking in, it came off like blink twice if you're okay.
In early 2020, maybe they had 250,000 subscribers. And then by 2022, they had closer to 500,000.
It's like a matrix. We're all like intertwined. Have everybody working together synergistically. It's something that's never been done before. I'm sorry. And people are really happy.
In 2021, IM Academy published their own income disclosure statement, and in it they admit that 94% of the people who joined IM Academy that year, they made less in a year than what they paid for their subscription. But 0.05% of people, that would be the people at the very top of the structure, earned on average $1.4 million that year. Just selling a bad product in itself isn't illegal, and having a company structure that's mostly encouraging people to make money from commissions also isn't illegal, but it has been able to fight off pyramid scheme allegations over time.
Almost every compliance challenge I had to do with income claims being made from the top promoters in the field. Is you can't just promise people it's always going to go up. So if you guys want to tell people you can become rich, or you want to show them your lifestyle, then you've got to explain to them you had a lot of failures. Your investment trades weren't always positive. You've lost money. None of them wanted to do that. Usually before too long, Chris would call me and say, hey, is there any way we can still let them do that? And I'd say, no, Chris, you can't have them do that. If you do, we're opening the door to regulators and we're opening the door to critics.
So we know that in 2023, the FTC was actively investigating IM Academy for deceptive or unfair actions.
I'm mortified by the lifestyle claims that we have. We're going to end up getting shut down by the feds. Horrible what's going on out there. It's not a good thing.
If you tell me you have a vision of being a billion-dollar business, you want to be a business that's going to change people's lives, then you're going to have to do what it takes. And that means you've got some guidelines. It doesn't matter if we like those guidelines from the regulators or not. That's the law.
Did you guys know that this year is the best year of your life? And you know that it's
You're told to bring the next person, bring the next person, bring the next person. You're brainwashed into this is something that is life-changing. It can be something that's life-changing if you bring more people.
What that allows the company to do is to tell people, if you're failing right now, it's your fault. It's because you're not projecting wealth enough. It allows them to also isolate you from the people you know, because they'll say stuff like, you need to surround yourself with wealthy people if you want to become wealthy. And wealthy people that you know are IM Academy traders.
Anybody who comes at you, that's the mountain of negative.
So stop talking to your family, they're losers.
And now you have to start climbing up. And the people that you left behind are throwing rocks at your back, grabbing your shoes.
Stop talking to your friends.
Anytime there's a negative energy around you, say go!
Like, break up with your boyfriend if he doesn't believe in you.
And fend for yourself and don't care what the other half is telling you.
And instead, hang out only with the people in IM Academy. But then the reality is quite different. Through the Freedom of Information Act in the US, I was able to access all the complaints filed to the CFTC about IM Academy. And what I found was that more than 1,000 complaints were filed in 2020 alone. These complaints were coming from all over the world. People from Nigeria all the way to the Philippines were reporting having fallen for the company's promises. They had lost their life savings to I Am Academy. Some people had ended up in the hospital after breaking down from the pressure of trying to constantly recruit new members. A lot of people were saying that they felt they had been brainwashed. Some people said they were part of a Christian community and people had used their faith against them. Their whole lives had been kind of turned upside down, devastated for all the money they'd lost.
They're inspired by the person on the stage. But the person on the stage doesn't care about the people that are the rank and file. They're just numbers that represent dollar figures in their own pocket.
Chris Terry acted with his lawyers in a number of ways. He's sued people who've left I Am Academy to start their own businesses. He's sued people who've dared to say negative things about him online.
Today, I believe that Chris has made it with the houses, the condos, why the people that are in the rank and file, they watch their dreams dashed again.
I'm talking about this house. Wow, they gave me my life back.
Back in August of 2020, there was like a big mansion in Atlanta where they were gonna host pretty much an event for all the chairmans. And I was able to get invited to that even though I wasn't a chairman. The mansion was nice. It was probably the biggest residential house I've ever set foot in. And they had armed security walking around the place. You know, they had people, you know, supposedly having them sign NDAs and stuff before you go in. They had private chefs there, you know, to feed us food. Those chairmen who were running the mansion, you know, event, you know, they got on the phone or got on a live call.
We actually have a surprise.
Breaking news type of thing, and they said, hey, for anybody who can get here in the next 24 hours, you know, go ahead and come on over.
So for tomorrow, we're opening up this house.
The next day is when all the people started to show up during that morning, and everybody got stopped at the gate. We were sitting outside, arguing with security on how they were told to come here. Security trying to keep them out. So there was a whole bunch of commotion at the gate. The chairman are panicking because they didn't realize that this many people would actually show up on such short notice. People were, you know, driving hours to come. People were booking last-minute flights, overnight flights, to try to get there in time. The overall decision was to get some other Airbnbs in different locations, send those people there. You went from this mansion, this $1 million mansion that everybody's at, now you get other Airbnbs, so these Airbnbs are like in the ghetto. Like, a lot of people were pissed off.
The second house, hour out, middle of nowhere, but it's best like that, you know.
Me seeing that for the first time from the inside, I didn't like that at all. You like wake up for a second. You kind of have that moment where it's like, oh, okay. Like once you start to see how people really are, now I'm not taking crap. So I'm gonna start speaking up.
Why do we stop Forex? Cause we was 10 toes in.
10 toes in.
We was locked in. We was.
Can't tell me nothing.
Can't tell me nothing.
A year and a half ago.
For me, it was a matter of, I felt like I was manipulated, and I also felt like the people in leadership were also manipulating other people too.
The I Am Academy is trash.
I actually had nightmares, because for months after leaving the company.
Majority of these people are brainwashed. The black community is traumatized by this company, okay? Like, this company is really f***ed up.
If you're telling people, hey, you could join I Am Academy and you can make $2,000 this week, is it possible? Yes, but is it probable? No. So don't tell them that. We tried to patch up the boat, but if, you know, the captains didn't want to patch up the boat, they didn't want to take the holes that we seen seriously, all right, well, that's the one that's going to sink the ship, and that's exactly what happened.
The police in Spain has arrested 8 people related to the I Am Academy, accused of fraud, misleading advertising, and running a pyramidal scheme.
L'organisation est accusée d'escroquerie et de dérives sectaires.
450 familias se unen para una demanda colectiva por una estafa piramidal en cursos de formación para jóvenes de 16 a 20 años.
I'm like, how can it be a pyramid? I'm the only one in it. I'm at the top and in the bottom.
There have been a number of arrests in Europe.
I'm the guy at the bottom and the top.
Financial authorities around the world have issued warnings saying, no, this company is not regulated to give financial advice.
There was a lot of complaints. If you're not going to be ethical, then we're going to cut ties. I'm not going to do business with people that will not abide by their word. And that's when I left.
When I came into this, I genuinely believed that if I recruited other people, I was giving them an opportunity. I was sort of naive to it because I wanted to believe it so badly.
I think it says something about our society that someone who runs a company that has so many red flags is still able to operate and build an entire following and still be out there doing what he does without any repercussions.
Money just really exposes who you already are. So whatever qualities you have about yourself that are positive or negative, money just puts an exclamation point on all of it.